Hey everybody, Ralph Havens here, and really cool little exercise I got for you. Let me see if I can get a better spot. There we go. That looks a little better, I think. And I'm up here in the top part of our house area. Pretty cool, huh? On a nice Saturday morning. That's the top of our house, and barely see some of the mountains back there. Cool, huh? So so I've got something for you that I think is going to be really cool. You could try it and see how you like it. It'll help. I've been finding it helps eyesight, but it also helps happiness. Happiness. So I'll show you that in a little bit. Um, and I was thinking today, I think it was yesterday I said something about the um, the reason a lot of people don't get what they want in life and in their health and everything else is they don't really know what they want, or yeah, they don't know what they want, or they don't know why they want it. But there's another thing once somebody knows what they want, um, that can stop people, or some actually can help people get it faster. And years ago, I was running at a much higher level. Back in my 20s and 30s, and distance running, marathons and that sort of thing. And I got to San Diego, and I was trying to do it on my own. And I was reading a book and about how to self-coach yourself. And I was getting pretty good times, but it was tough. And then I met some of the local runners, and some of them had been to the Olympics, some of them had been to Olympic trials, made national teams, and won NCAA titles and all sorts of stuff like that. And I started running with some of them, and it was so hard. It was fast, and I remember one time at Penasquitos Canyon in San Diego, it was a flat section, and we were running, I think, about 12 miles or so on a Sunday, and I just fell. I don't even think there was anything in my way, but I just fell. And so everybody stopped, and my coach told me at the time. He said, and he was a fast marathoner, a 2 hour 13-minute marathoner, world class marathoner at the time, and he said, Ralphie, you just keep showing up, and the group will bring you along, and you're going to be the boss of this run. And sure enough, I got pretty good, and it became one of my funnest things was to be on that Sunday run, and to be in that group, and to be part of a group that was running really well. And I remember when I ran my best marathon, I think I was sixth out of our group, 20th overall in this big marathon, and ran 2 hours and 28 minutes. That was my PR, personal record. But the top the top guy in our group was actually written up in some of the running magazines, because he was like, wow, Olympic hopeful, ran, I think, 2:14 that day. And then later, I think he ran even faster, something like that. And so, but the second guy ran 2:19, and then there were some guys that ran 2:20, and I ran 2:28, and my friend that I was running with ran 2:28, and it was a great thing. And then years later, I had been through some injuries, and and I was getting back to running. It was after I had been off for about 8 months, and I figured it out and got back to running. But it was like beyond my I was like done with the super competitive phase, and I was just enjoying running. And I got in a different group. I loved my other group that I got into, and it was more of they were serious, but they were not super fast in the world class kind of sense of the word. But but I would tell them my times. They'd ask you your times, and they couldn't even compute. Like, what? Because their times were so much slower. Not That's no big deal. They were still really good times, but their thing wasn't qualifying for trying to qualify for Olympic trials and that sort of thing. It was to qualify for Boston, which is a very good elite field, but at a different level. And 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 so I trained with them, and I thought, if I would have just started with that group, I wouldn't have probably run my 2:28 marathon. I wouldn't have been at that level, and because the whole group mentality and the way they trained and everything else was about breaking 3 hours. That was like the gold standard. Breaking 3 hours and 30 minutes was like really good. Um, but the idea of running a low 2 hour marathon was like out of the realm of possibilities. And so the group really helped. And I think once you know what you want, one of the fastest ways, I think seemingly the fastest way, I think, is to find your group, find your environment. If you can find your group of people that already have that or think like that or are going for that, that in and of itself is huge, because now you just become one of them. You just become one of them. And it's like how you think, how you train, how you do stuff, how you make things happen, your connections. So the group, I think, is really, really, really powerful. And then of course, with that, there's the inner mindset. Now I didn't have a lot of the inner mindset stuff. I was meditating and doing stuff, but so I was starting down that road. But the other part of that is, if you don't feel like you belong in that group, like there's a deep inner belief that you don't belong, then that can stop you, of course, right? It can make you drop out because it's so uncomfortable to be in that group. I mean, it was kind of like a bit intimidating. Like a guy that had actually been fifth place in the Olympics in a race. I remember talking to him, and he was the nicest guy. And then I became very good friends with his girlfriend, who then became his wife. And but in the beginning, it was like, ooh, these guys are like high level, you know. So there's some deep inner stuff. So once you get the environment, then the deep inner stuff. So what I've came to me this morning, which is really cool. I'm going to show you a really cool little exercise that I think you're going to like in a minute. It helps with that happiness and even with the eyesight thing. But that's in a minute. So, but what I came up with this morning was I'm going to be doing something big with a group of people pretty soon. I'll tell you about that. But right now I've got this thing called Enlighten Up and Get What You Want, and it's a master class. It's a whole giant series of trainings to become a master, get self-mastery of your healing and your health and your life, and to really do stuff that makes things happen. And I thought, well, what people really need, I used to do, I've shifted some things in it, because I realized, oh, the group is so important. The group is so important. So I've created a Facebook group that I'm just about to launch to them. I've told a few of them, but we're going to do something where every month we get on as a group and we create that mindset and really go with the stuff that works for people, so that the whole group can bring everybody along. Because there's a lot of stuff in that Enlighten Up and Get What You Want masterclass, and it can be daunting, like, oh my God, there's this video and there's a video and training, and how do you do it? And so it's been what I personally use, and it's what I use with my one-on-one clients, especially the ones that are willing to do the work. The one-on-one clients that are willing to do the work and want to learn how to do things in a magical way and really get things done in the physical world, the health, but also the happiness and the money, and just like solve stuff in a magical way, and then also in a physical way. Because when I was running, you know, yeah, you're with the group and you're one of them and you clear the inner stuff. So now you feel like you actually do belong in this group. But then of course there's the training, right? You got to get out there and run and train. And so there's a whole thing of this. But if you're in the group can bring you along. And so this Enlighten Up and Get What You Want Facebook group, that's part of that now. I'm going to be meeting with everybody in that probably once a month, I think, and then checking in that group every single day, so people can ask questions and we can start to help each other out and really bring each other along. Because if one person has an issue, out of the rest of us, we can help them come up with a solution, you know? And so that's what I want for you guys. Huh, smells like somebody's doing laundry. I don't really like that laundry soap smell stuff, but that's funny. Way up here, can't even imagine where that's coming from. So if you're interested in that, go to ralphhavens.com/enlighten up, and I'm going to be doing a very special inner circle. I'm thinking about 5 people, maybe up to 8 people, with people that have been with me one-on-one, and I'll be releasing more of that down the road. But right now, what I'm talking about is a way to be in a group, and to use all the tools, the magical mastery tools, the magical wizard tools, the self-mastery tools, the way to heal in a magical way, the way to get things done in a magical way, the way to use the group to help figure stuff out in the physical, like how do you do stuff? What do you do? How do you train? How do you get it? How do you make things happen? And then every day we can meet in this Facebook group, and once a month I'll be on and just like bam, 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 we'll help everybody move the needle. So if you're interested in that, ralphhavens.com/enlighten up. And if you go to that, you'll get a bunch of freebies right off the bat of a very powerful enlighten up technique process. That's something I use every day to clear deep inner belief, the kind of stuff that makes it where you feel totally part of the group, you know, like I needed to feel part of that group with the world-class runners. It was like I had to shift a lot of inner stuff. So I'll give you that for free by getting that, going to that link, ralphhavens.com/enlighten up. Now, I told you about a certain thing. Try this and see what you think. This is really cool. So, and if you do this, your eyesight can improve, but something starts to happen that's really cool in the happiness thing. So you ready? All right. So, you know how if you focus on something, you can take an extra moment, like a little leaf or a book on your bookshelf, and just focus in to like get really clear, like, you know, just zero in and focus on it. It's like, oh, there it is. There's the leaf, or there's that book, or there's that chair, or there's that little thing on the chair. And then, like, you know how it's easy to just like scan, but you're like floating along and you didn't even notice what you noticed. So this is like notice what you notice by stopping for a moment and just looking at it. And now find something closer and focus on that. And really focus on it like you're going to look at it and see, oh yeah, what's the texture of that? What does it look like? Can you bring it into focus, or is it too close to focus? And then look off in a distance, and just look at the sky. Like, you know, that blue sky, it's infinity, right? So see if you can just kind of focus way out there. And then if there's a cloud, focus on the cloud. That's a little closer, right? And then if there's a leaf, focus on the leaf. See if you can see the veins in the leaf. And you'll find your mind wander, and it's like, oh, I lost the focus. Then go back and focus on the leaf. Focus on another leaf or a rock or a little acorn. See acorns down here. Or some dirt. Or a little cement thing here. It's got texture to it. Go back and focus on the infinite, the blue sky, and, you know, stop and actually focus on it. Don't just like scan it without noticing it. Notice it for a moment. And then notice a tree and see if you can notice the top of the tree. If you could focus on it, maybe even bring it into focus, the actual tree or the horizon. What if you could actually see somebody walking around on that horizon? Just focus, and then come back and focus on something really close, like a little rock or your fingernail, and then move your fingernail out a little ways and focus on that, and then move it in a little ways and focus on that. But you got to stop and focus on it, right? It's easy to just start daydreaming. Focus on the leaf, one leaf, and now another leaf, and now another leaf. And it's interesting. If you actually do this and make it a practice, something really, really, really cool starts to happen. You might even start to notice it now. For one, your eyesight can start to get better because you're training your eye to the muscles to tense and relax, to kind of bend the lens a little bit of your eye, and you'll get better vision by focusing at the infinity, the blue sky, or the night sky. Focus on the leaf, focus on your finger, focus on a rock, and your eyesight will improve. But something really magical starts to happen. So I'd love to hear what you think and what you notice for you, because what I've noticed, did I tell you? Yeah, I told you beforehand. It's happiness. Happiness. And I think what it is, you know how like if you're looking at a really a painting from, say, Marc Chagall or Monet or Picasso, if you know, it's just a picture, you know, a painting of like some flowers in a vase on a table, and that's the painting. But because it's a painting and it's a famous guy, you stop and you look and you really examine it, and you like look at the texture and you see the way the sun comes in off the window and the painting, and you see this. You're focusing on this thing, and all of a sudden you go, oh, that's just beautiful. Well, what I've been noticing is when I focus on the world, whether it's a chair or a cement block or a little acorn or pine cone or my finger, if I stop and take that extra moment to bring it into focus, like the eyeball brings it into physical focus and brings it into physical focus, I've been noticing that happiness goes way, way up. You start to notice the world, and eyesight improves. So it's one of my hacks, I guess you'd call it, for eyesight, and also I was doing it for eyesight, but happiness started to show up even more and more and more. So try it. Let me know what you think, and if you want to play with us in this world of Enlighten Up and self mastery and healing, and moving the needle for you, what you really want in life, so you can do what you want to do, then go to ralphhavens.com/enlighten up, get the freebies, and join us because we're going to be starting that group. It's on now, and I'll be jumping into it every day. All right, you guys, have a great Saturday. Enjoy the day. Notice what you're noticing out there, right?